Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Wispin here, and welcome back to another video here on the Pokecentral network. Today we're going to be doing how to train your Mismagius. Comment down below which Pokemon would you like me to do next in this series. Now, before we get into the rest of this video, I just want to go ahead and say that everything on the store is currently 40% off. That means ranks, eggs, items, all of the different stuff that you can purchase over there, all 40% off network-wide. If you do want to go ahead and take advantage of that sale, it's buy.pokecentral.org, and I'm not entirely sure how long it'll last, but it'll definitely last at least through Halloween, so at least through the end of the month. And one other change that we actually made over on the store is Ora and Shadowy Eggs now both guarantee a minimum of 65% IVs. They guarantee that your Pokemon will have a really cool custom nickname, and it also guarantees that your Pokemon will have a cool little particle aura effect. So if you guys do want to go ahead and check all of that different stuff out, buy.pokecentral.org. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into things. So if you want to find yourself a Mismagius, all you have to do is warp on over to the Safari Zone and then hang out around this entrance area until it turns to night. They spawn in a roof forest biome at night, and I believe they have a pretty reasonable rarity, although I have not actually checked. So let's go check that real quick and see what is the actual number. 60. Okay, so that's kind of on the medium to low side, so you're not going to see too many of them, but you should be able to find them here. So if you just hang out in this area, I'm sure you'll be able to find one. However, we actually got one out of our Hallowed Egg a couple of days ago, and the good thing about that is these Hallowed Eggs actually give higher IVs than just wild Pokemon. They have a minimum of 65% IVs, so generally speaking, you're going to get a Pokemon that has 65 to 100%, but usually leaning up towards around 80 to 85 on average. So if we go ahead and check this Pokemon, we'll see it actually has 72% IVs, so not terrible. A lot better than just catching one in the wild. To get a 72% wild Pokemon is pretty uncommon. And it actually has a 31 in speed. Now, I of course want to try to get this Pokemon as close as possible to perfect. So if we go ahead and breed it with our Ditto, then we should be able to get 90, 95, 100% IVs somewhere up there within 1 or 2 eggs. So let's just go ahead and check. Where's our Ditto? Is it in? It is in the daycare already, and it's currently holding a Destiny Knot, which is fine. That's good. Now, in terms of nature, I believe we're going to want... Ooh, Modest might actually be what we want. But I think we're going to go with Timid. Now, the base stats of Mismagius, however you pronounce it, are okay. They're pretty average, I'd say. It has a base speed of 105, a base special attack of 105, and a base special defense of 105. But the rest of its stats are all the way down at 60. Now, that doesn't matter too much for its attack stat, but it has pretty low defense and pretty low HP. So it can be either a special attacker, just straight up special attack, and just go all out with that, or it can be more of a special defense bulky support Pokemon, which is what we're going to go with today because I've done too many just straight up attack Pokemon and I want to do something a little bit different. Now, I'm not saying this is the best setup for the Pokemon. I don't really know. I've never used Mismagius before, and you might be better off just going straight up special attack and just doing 4 special attack moves that do damage and nothing else. But I wanted something a little bit different. So you can do that. If you want to find out how to do that moveset, really simple. Just train in speed, special attack. Go ahead and give yourself maybe a life orb, and then go ahead and give yourself like Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, and Thunderbolt. Something like that could be really, really good for just a straight out special attacker, all out attack, and not really worrying about anything else. But for the set we're actually going to be using today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different because, as I said, we have too many special attack Pokemon that are just straight up special attack, and I want something a little bit more unique and a little bit more special, and I feel like this is the perfect Pokemon to do that with. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and actually Poky Designer our Soulfire Mismagius, and we're going to go ahead and change it over into Timid Nature. Let's see, where's Timid? There we go. And I think that's all we're going to change for now, and then we'll throw it into the daycare. Levitate seems to be the only ability, which is fine. That's a pretty useful ability. And if we go ahead and go into the daycare now, actually we need to get ourselves a Lucky Egg. Not a Lucky Egg, an Everstone. I don't know why I said Lucky Egg. Everstone. Put this on the Pokemon, and then we'll go ahead and put it into the daycare. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the held item while we're waiting on our egg. So if you're going all out special attack, like I said earlier, you're going to want to go with a life orb. However, with the set that we're actually going to be using, I either need to choose between pretty much leftovers or a Kolber Berry. Now, the berry is the better option in my opinion. I'm probably going to try to get one of those. However, the problem is berries are extremely difficult to get here on the server, and we definitely need to go ahead and add an NPC that sells all of them. So I'll try to do that sometime in the next couple of days. But that does mean that we can't currently get it, so we're going to have to go with a leftover. Now, the berry that I'm talking about is called a Kolber Berry, and the way that it works is it halves the effectiveness, or halves the damage taken from super effective dark-type moves. So, because Mismagius' only weaknesses, only super effective weaknesses anyways, are dark and ghost type, that pretty much covers us for at least one hit from a dark type move, and then we're only really having to worry about the ghost super effective weakness, at least until that berry is gone. So I feel like that's a little bit better than leftovers, just because leftovers, they're better for Pokemon that have high HP, and we only have 60 base HP. So, I don't know. It's really up to you what you want to use, but I want to use the berry if we could. I don't think we have one. We do not. So it looks like we're probably going to have to just stick with the leftovers for now. Still waiting on the egg from the daycare. It's been maybe about 30 minutes now. I still need to look into changing up the breeding mechanics. Keep forgetting to do that. Try to do it sometime this week, but who knows? Might forget again. But while we're waiting, I wanted to go ahead and open up a Shadow Egg, an Ora Egg, and a Hallowed Egg. Now, the Hallowed Eggs are fairly new. They've only been on the server for a few days. The Ora Eggs and the Shadow Eggs are recently updated, so that's why I want to go ahead and open up one of each. And if you do want to purchase any of these eggs, they're all currently 40% off over on the store. So let's start things off with the Ora Egg, the original, the first egg ever added here on the server. Let's go ahead and see what we get. So many really cool Pokemon out of this egg. However, I do want to go ahead and update it, add some new Pokemon, change things up, make it a lot cooler. Did we just get a... Oh my god. This is my favorite. Out of all of the Pokemon in that egg, this has got to be probably my favorite. Look at this thing. This is so amazing. The Anubis Riolu. I love it. My favorite Pokemon in the egg. I don't know if it's my favorite because there are a ton of Pokemon in that Ora Egg, but it's got to be up there, and it looks amazing with the nickname and the particle effects. I think the black particles look really, really cool. We are definitely going to have to use this guy. Have we ever done? We're going to have to do How to Train Your Lucario now with this thing because it's just amazing. Let's go ahead and check the IVs now. IVs number 2. 90. Oh my god. Oh, I love these eggs so much. 96%. We could get a perfect special attack. The only IV that's not 31 is attack. So if we do a special attack Lucario, we could just straight up go with this guy here. We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to do that. So keep an eye out for How to Train Your Lucario. Probably going to be coming pretty soon because this little guy looks so cool. So moving along, let's go ahead and open up our Shadow Egg and see if we get something equally as cool. Now, my favorite Shadow Pokemon are probably Lapras, Scyther, and that's pretty much it. But looks like we're going to be getting a Shadow Magikarp. Okay, pretty common Pokemon, spawns a lot in the wild, but does look really cool, and I do like the purple, kind of dark purple look on Gyarados. It looks really cool. So not too bad, but not really great either. I think it's actually a unique Pokemon. We don't actually have one, surprisingly. We already have a couple of Carvanas, but that's our first Shadow Magikarp. So the final egg, the Hallowed Egg, the brand new egg. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. Now, we've already opened up probably about 20 of these things, so getting a unique Pokemon that we haven't seen before, not very likely, but I would love to get like a Spirit Sableye. Come on, give me it. One more. Oh, one off. We already had an Irradiated Bagon. Not the worst Pokemon ever, but not my favorite, really. Let's go ahead and go over to box 7. These are all of my Hallowed Pokemon. So, a lot of duplicates, as you can see, up at the top here, but also some unique ones. We got Plague Skarmory and Patchwork Cacnea. These two are my favorite. If you want to check out any of those textures, just watch the last couple of videos, or watch, I think 3 or 4 videos ago, I put up a video showing every single one of the Hallowed Pokemon here on the server. Now, Have we got our egg yet? Still no egg. Okay, well, I guess back to waiting. Okay, so here we go. This is actually the second egg that I've gotten from the daycare. The first one wasn't so great. It was only 70% IVs, which means we can't really use it, which was that one. Now, this one, hey, you know what? 86%, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. I don't really want to wait another hour for another egg, so this is the one that we're actually going to go ahead and stick with. So if we go ahead and hatch number 2 there, and we can actually get rid of our dark rye. We'll throw them back into our PC. Start work on our brand new Pokemon here. So first things first, we got it changed on over into the Soulfire Ora texture because it just looks really, really cool. And next up, let's go ahead and jump on into the Poky Designer so that we can actually edit the IV slightly. So if we had just bred for a couple more times, probably would have got even higher, but what we're going to do here is bump up the HP to max. We're going to leave attack. We're going to leave... Actually, we'll bump up special attack. And that's actually all we need to change. So we just had to bump up HP by 10 and special attack by, looks like 8. So that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and confirm those changes. We already have Timid Nature. We have Levitate, which is the only ability. And then I think that's pretty much it. We already have a cool texture. Got to change it over into a Premium Ball. Gender's fine. Now, the only other thing I would say we could go ahead and do is bump up the EVs. So if you go ahead and take a look, we're going to want to go with, most likely, I actually don't know for sure. So I want to go ahead and say we are still on Generation 6 mechanics, so Generation 7 could be completely different for all of these Pokemon, but Gen 6, so I'm trying to think, do we want to go with special attack and speed, or do we want to go with HP and speed? And because we have the leftovers and we're kind of stuck using those for a little while, I think we're going to go ahead and go with HP all the way up to 252, and that way we'll just have more health points in total for our leftovers to restore, which should help us out a little bit. And then if we ever do go ahead and get the other berry that I want, the Kolber Berry, maybe we'll go ahead and switch these HP EVs down into special attack. I don't know for sure. And then we're also going to go with speed just because being faster than the opponent is always a good thing to have, and 105 isn't too bad for a base speed. It'll outspeed most medium to slow Pokemon, and then some of the higher speed Pokemon will outspeed us, but oh well, what can you do? Kind of stuck with what we got. So that's all for that, and I think all we need to do to evolve Mismagius is actually go ahead and warp on over to the shop and purchase ourselves, I think a Dusk Stone is going to get us to the evolution. I believe that's what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look. Is it Moon or is it Dusk? I think it's Dusk, so we're just going to try it. Hopefully it's not a Moonstone, and here we go. Yes, evolving, awesome, okay. So here I am actually going to be seeing the Mismagius texture, Soulfire texture for the first time ever. I've never actually seen it. Oh, that is awesome. That is so cool. That is amazing. I love this. Okay, we don't need... Oh, there's so many cool named moves. Look at this. I love the names that are like Mystical Fire, Power Gem. They're just moves you never really see, but they're pretty cool. I guess Power Gem I've seen a few times. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to work on the moveset. We have pretty much everything else done. We have the texture, the held item. The ability is always just going to be Levitate, which gives fuel immunity to all ground type moves. That's great. Timid Nature just to get a little bit of a speed boost. And now we got to focus on our moveset, which is obviously the most important part of this Pokemon. So we're going for kind of a support Pokemon, not really an all-out special attacker, which you can definitely do, but we're going to go for more of a support side of things. So what we need to do is get some good moves for just that kind of a thing. So we're going to go with Will-O-Wisp for sure. And let's see if we can actually relearn it. I'm learning so many moves here. Come on, just let me access. There we go. Okay, so we cannot relearn it. Is it a TM? I think so. Yes, it is. Okay, so we got ourselves Will-O-Wisp. Let's go ahead and teach that first. That's good. Okay, and then next up, we're going to go with maybe Taunt. So what Taunt actually does is it makes it so that the opponent has to use physical attack, or special or physical, basically damage-dealing moves for the next 3 turns. So the good thing about that is if there's a Pokemon that's like a setup Pokemon or a Pokemon that's support Pokemon, they're not really going to be able to use a lot of their moves because they can only use damage-dealing moves for 3 turns. So that's great for us. Let's go ahead and put that onto our Pokemon. Next up, actually, I want to go ahead and get Hex. Now, what Hex actually does is, I think it has a base power of 60 or 65. Well, let's just go ahead and find it first. Where is Ghost going to be? Ghost, here it is. Okay. So, it's not here. Okay, so I think it'll probably learn it then. Hopefully it's not an egg move. Wiki Mismagius moves. Okay. Oh, it doesn't learn any moves. Oh, no. All right, guys. Well, this is a little bit of a life lesson for you guys. I'm actually going to go ahead and have to cheat a little bit, but luckily, you will know. You will know from now on. If you're going to get yourself a Mismagius, only Mismagius learns moves from leveling up. So you need to get to level 23 if you want Hex, and you need to get to level 32 if you want Pain Split. So I definitely recommend making sure you get your moves on your Pokemon before evolving. It's just one of those weird Pokemon that doesn't learn any moves from leveling up. Now, unfortunately, there's no other way to get the moves, so either I need to go back, breed a new Pokemon, modify it all with gems, and all of that different stuff, which is fine. I could do that, but because I want to get this video out today in a couple of hours, I'm going to go ahead and just teach the moves, and in the future, I will be more careful, hopefully. Maybe. Possibly not, but for now, let's just go ahead and teach Hex. It's actually super easy to get. Like I said, all you got to do is get the Pokemon up to level 23 without evolving it. It'll learn it for free, and you never have to worry about it again. But teach, number 1, Hex. I think we have to put our username here. There we go. Okay, so like I said, Hex has base power of 65, but doubles its power if the opponent has a serious status effect. So something like Burn, which you'll get from Will-O-Wisp. So that's great. And that should be a pretty good combo there. And then the final move that we're actually going to go ahead and get ourselves is either... Well, we have a couple of choices. So we could go with Pain Split. And the way that that actually works is it takes an average of your HP and the opponent's HP, and it sets both Pokemon's HP to that number. So it's okay. Like, if you're at low HP, they're at high HP, then you'll go up to half of their HP, or you'll go up to an average of your 2 HPs, and they'll come down to the same number. So it's an okay move. It's interesting, but we're going to actually go with Thunder Wave. And what Thunder Wave basically just does is paralyzes the opponent. So the reason we're going to be using that is just for obvious reasons. It's pretty good. If the opponent's paralyzed, they can attack. You can just use your moves, and I believe Hex will actually work with paralysis to double the power. So the moves that Hex actually works with is, or the status effects Hex actually works with is Burned, Poison, Paralyzed, Asleep, or Frozen, and it will double the power all the way up to 130, which is kind of insane. That's pretty good. Now, in Generation 5, Hex actually had a base power of 50, which made it not so great, but because we're in Generation 6 now, it actually has a slightly higher base power. So that's going to be our moveset. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a lot more unique than a lot of my other Pokemon that are just straight up special attackers, so that's kind of why I've decided to go with this. I don't know if it's the best moveset. I want to repeat this over and over. I really have no idea if this is the best moveset. I tried something different with this Pokemon. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you have a better moveset or a different moveset, also leave that down there so people can check it out and decide on which one they want to use. But this one's pretty cool, and I think it's going to be really awesome to use in battle. But yeah, that's actually pretty much it for this video. So if you guys did enjoy, if you want to join me here on the server, actually, ip.pokecentral.org, all the links you need down in the description to go ahead and get online. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to go and leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.